All right, let's tackle a huge question that pops up every single time things get busy. You know the drill. It's peak season, the holiday rush is on, and you need to bring in some extra hands. Can that temporary staff you just hired actually, legally, operate a forklift?
Let's just put it out there, plain and simple. You've got temp workers on the floor, you've got forklifts ready to go, and you've got a mountain of orders to get out the door. So, can you have them hop on and start moving pallets?
The quick and easy answer, yes, you absolutely can.
But, and this is a really, really big but, it is nowhere near as simple as just tossing them the keys. Getting from yes to yes, we're doing this safely and by the book involves some critical steps you just can't skip.
So let's break down what you actually need to do, starting with the one rule from OSHA that controls this whole conversation.
Okay, this right here is the foundation for everything. OSHA Standard 1910.178. What's so important here is what it doesn't say. There are no footnotes, no exceptions for seasonal help, no unless they're only here for a few weeks. Nope, it says every single operator. As far as OSHA is concerned, if you're driving that forklift, you're an operator. End of story.
And you have got to understand that, because the consequences for trying to find a shortcut here, well, they are seriously high.
We are not talking about a little slap on the wrist. We're talking about the absolute worst-case scenarios, someone getting seriously hurt, or even killed, on your watch. And beyond that awful human cost, you're looking at thousands in damaged property, crippling OSHA fines, and your insurance company jacking up your rates. This is the real-world cost of getting it wrong. And this little sentence tells you exactly where the buck stops. It's not the staffing agency, it's not the temp worker. OSHA is looking directly at you, the employer. You are the one who is 100% responsible for making sure that training and certification happens.
Okay, so we get the risks. Now let's flip this around and talk about the solution. This is your playbook for getting it right every single time.
Think of this as your game plan. It's a pretty straightforward 4-step process. First, you figure out what training they need. Second, you give them that OSHA-compliant training. Third, you document everything, and I mean everything. And fourth, you watch them work until you are positive they know what they're doing. These aren't suggestions, they're requirements.
And when we say training, it's not a pick-and-choose situation. You have to do both of these. The classroom part, whether it's in person or online, covers the why. You know, the theory, the physics of the machine, the safety rules. But the hands-on part is where the rubber meets the road. It's where they prove they can actually operate your machine in your facility. You can't do one without the other.
Now this is a big one. This trips up so many people. A temp might walk in and say, hey, I've got 10 years of forklift experience. That's great, but was it on your specific make and model? Did their old warehouse have the same narrow aisles, the same blind corners, the same foot traffic you have? You have to see for yourself that they can operate safely right here, right now.
Which brings us right back to the most important piece of this whole puzzle, accountability.
I mean, look at this chart. It couldn't possibly be any clearer. When an accident happens or when an OSHA inspector shows up, the legal liability is 100% on the host employer. That's you. The staffing agency might have sent the person over, but in OSHA's eyes, when it comes to safety on that forklift, they work for you.
So if you have all the liability, how in the world do you protect yourself? With paperwork, meticulous documentation. This is your proof you did the right thing. For every single operator, temp or not, you need a record that shows their name, when they were trained, how they did on their evaluation, and who trained them. If you don't have this paper trail, legally speaking, it's like the training never even happened.
Okay, before we wrap up, let's just quickly bust a couple of really common and really dangerous myths that float around out there.
We hear this one all the time, right? A worker says they're certified and have been driving for years, so they must be good to go.
And that is just flat out false. Like we just talked about, past experience is great, but it is not a substitute for you verifying their skills on your equipment in your building. You have to evaluate them yourself, period. The other big one you hear is that the rules are somehow different for short-term gigs. Yeah, they're only here for a couple of weeks, they don't need the whole song and dance. And again, completely false. A forklift accident doesn't care if you've been employed for 2 years or 2 hours. It can happen in an instant. OSHA's rule is crystal clear. If you are operating the truck, you have to be trained and certified to the full standard. No exceptions for how long you're on the payroll.
So, if you only walk away with a few things today, let it be these 3. Number 1, training isn't optional. It's mandatory for everybody. Number 2, the legal liability, that's all on you, the employer. And number 3, that documentation is the only thing that proves you did everything right.
And that leaves us with one final really important question you need to ask yourself. As you bring in that extra help, take a good, hard look at your process. Are those temp workers a valuable asset helping you crush your goals, or, without the right training and paperwork, are they a hidden liability just waiting to turn into a disaster? The choice, and the responsibility, is yours.